It's the moment of truth for all job seekers, the job interview, but as the polls at careerbuilder.com found out, candidates will often blow their chances with unnecessary and sometimes outrageous mistakes. CareerBuilder's Vice President of Human Resources, Rosemary Haefner, is here to tell us what not to do on that big job interview. Rosemary, good morning. Some of these things are just mind-boggling. What's the biggest mistake that managers talk about saying in a job interview?
Yeah, absolutely. Without doubt, the biggest is dressing inappropriately. So, 57% of the hiring managers we interviewed recently said they're not going to believe this. People showing up in the business suit. I was impressed. I looked down and I see flip-flops all the way to pajama bottoms.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pajama bottoms. What should they do? I would say it's always are in the conservative type, and they may be a business suit, but ultimately the environment you're interviewing with. What's their dress code? What's normal for them? Make sure you check that out before you show up.
And the second big mistake is asking personal questions. What kinds of things do people ask in an interview and what's appropriate?
If you're going to ask questions, make sure you keep this on point. Talk about the company, you're asking about the position, really make sure you're keeping focus on that.
Yeah, there are some things you want to ask. I mean, you want to know that, you want them to know that you're knowledgeable about the company and you know the job you are interviewing for.
Absolutely. Ask questions, come prepared is one of those other common mistakes we see where people don't have questions, but not just any question, they need to be good questions. Where is the job going to be talking in 5 years? Where are the companies to look intelligent about the opportunities?
And what about if you have something on your resume or in your job history that maybe isn't so positive? You say stay away from talking negatively about a previous job.
Absolutely. It's hard to do. There is a lot of frustration out there. If you had a bad experience on a recent employer or you know where you laid off, what helped you back, are that grievances under interview. You will potentially be liable to troublemaker or complainer, and hiring manager talking, are they going to be saying these things about me in a year or two? So make sure you keep it positive. Focus on your skills you have and how you can transfer this quickly to the opportunity.
Alright, cell phones, text messages, all of those things. What do you do when you go into an interview? You forget to turn it off and it rings.
And it happens, and it's something else. If it happens, you said I'm sorry, but you have to report of candidates talking to house and asking the interview to leave the room because they need privacy to the calls.
Wow.
So that it's not an extreme and uncommon as you will think. It's happening regularly, so easy fix, it's safe, focus, good eye contact, turn off the technology, and make sure you're selling yourself.
And very, very quickly, lying.
Lying, don't do it. Honesty is the best publicity, just don't do it at all.
And if you don't know the answer, just say no.
Say you don't have that, you're going to get back in touch with them. You have to apprehend them because you have contacted them. After you interview them, make sure you're top of mind when you're making the final selection.
Okay, Rosemary Haefner, thank you so much for coming in.
Sure.
Good advice.
It's a moment of truth for all your seekers. The job interview brings the false a career builder can count for out. Candidates with often blow their chances with unnecessary and sometimes outrageous mistakes. CareerBuilder's Vice President of Human Resources, Rosemary Haefner, is here to tell us what not to do on that big job interview. Rosemary, good morning. Some of these things are just mind-blowing. What's the biggest mistake that managers talk about seeing in a job interview?
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. The biggest is dressing inappropriately. So 57% of the hiring managers we interviewed would recently say, "You're not going to believe this. People showing up in a business suit. I was impressed. I look down and I see flip-flops all the way to pajama bottoms."
What?
Yes, pajama bottoms, you know. What should they do? I could say it's always err on the conservative side, and that may be a business suite, but ultimately the environment you are interviewing with. What is their dress code? What's normal for them? Make sure you check that out before you show up. You just want to make sure you are showing the hiring manager, you know, you take the job seriously, and how you are dressing is going to show that.
And the second big mistake is asking personal questions. What kinds of things do people ask in an interview and what's appropriate?
If you're going to ask a question, make sure you keep that on point. Talk about the company. You know you're asking about the positions. Really make sure you're keeping focus on that.
Yeah, there are some things you want to ask. I mean, you want to know that, you want them to know that you're knowledgeable about the company and you know the job you're interviewing for.
Absolutely. Ask question. Come prepared is one of those other common mistakes we see where people don't have questions. But don't not just any questions. They need to be good questions. Where's the job going to be taking me in 5 years? What are your competitors up to? Look intelligent about the opportunity.
And what about if you have some things on your resume or in your job history that maybe isn't so positive? You say stay away from talking negatively about a previous job.
Absolutely, it's hard to do. There's a lot of frustration out there if you have had bad experience at a recent employer or you know you were laid off. What have you but do not air that grievance at the interview. You will potentially be labeled a troublemaker or complainer. Hiring managers thinking, are they going to be saying these things about me in a year or two? So make sure you keep it positive. Focus on the skills you have and how you can transfer that quickly to the opportunity.
Alright, cell phones, text message, all of these things. What did you do when you go into an interview? You forget to turn off and it rings?
And it happens, and it's innocent enough. If it happens, you say, I'm sorry, but we have reports of candidates taking the calls and asking the interview to leave the room because they need privacy for the call.
Wow!
Yeah, so you know that it's not extreme and uncommon as you could think. It's happening regularly. So easy fix, stay focused, good eye contact, turn off the technology. Make sure you are selling yourself.
Very, very quick line.
Lying, don't do it. Honesty is the best policy. Just don't do it at all.
If you don't know the answer, you say no.
Say you don't have that and you're going to get back in touch with them. You have the upper hand then because you can contact them after the interview and make sure you're top of mind when they are making the final selection.
Rosemary, thank you so much
Sure.
for coming in. Good advice.